At each stage of his imprisonment, he had known, or seemed to know, whereabouts he was in the windowless building. Possibly there were slight differences in the air pressure. The cells where the guards had beaten him were below underground. The room where he had been interrogated by O'Brien was high up near the roof. This place, many meters underground, as deep as it was possible to go. The worst thing in the world varies from individual to individual. It may be burial alive, or death by fire, or by drowning, or by impalement. These are cases where it is some quite trivial thing, not even fatal. In your case, the worst thing in the world happens to be rats.
You can't do that! You couldn't! You couldn't!
Do you remember the moment of panic that used to occur in your dreams? There was a wall of blackness in front of you, and the roaring sound in your ears. There was something terrible on the other side of that wall. You dared not to drag it in the open. It was the rats that were on the other side of that wall.
Brian! You know this is not necessary! What is it you want me to do?
Pain is not always enough. There are always occasions when human will stand out against pain, even to the point of death. But for everyone, there's something unendurable, something that cannot be contemplated. You will do what is required of you.
But what is it? What is it? How can I do it if I don't know what it is?
Winston could hear the blood singing in his ears. Have you ever seen a rat leap through the air? They will leap onto your face and bore straight into it. Sometimes they attack their eyes first. Sometimes they burrow through the cheeks and devour the tongue. Winston heard a succession of shrill cries which appeared to be occurring in the air above his head, but he fought furiously against his panic. To think even with one split second left, to think there was only one hope. There was a violent convulsion of nausea inside of him. He almost lost consciousness. Everything had gone black. For an instant he was insane, a screaming animal. Yet he came out of this blackness, clutching an idea. There was only one, and only one way to save himself. He must interpose another human being, the body of another human being, between himself and the rats. He suddenly understood that the whole world, there was one person who could transfer his punishment.
Do it to Julia! Do it to Julia! Not me! I don't care what you do to her! Tear her face off! Strip her to her bones! Not me! Julia! Not me!
Winston stopped thinking about the war. In these days, he could never hold his mind on any subject for more than a few moments at a time. He had been appointed to a committee that dealt with the difficulties that arose in the completion of the 11th edition of the Newspeak Dictionary. The waiter knew his habits. His table was always reserved, his drink was always made, and his chessboard was always brought to him. He silently placed the pieces on the board. White always wins. Did it not symbolize the eternal, unwavering triumph of good over evil?
They can't get inside you.
Julia had said, but they could get inside you.
betrayed you?
I betrayed you.
Sometimes they threaten you with something you can't stand up to, you can't even think about. And then you say, don't do it to me. Do it to somebody else. Do it to so-and-so. And perhaps you might pretend afterwards that it was only a trick and you just said it to make them stop. And you didn't really mean it. But that isn't true. At the time when it happens, you do mean it. You think there's no other way of saving yourself, and you're quite ready to save yourself that way. You want it to happen to the other person. You don't give a damn what they suffer. All you care about is yourself.
All you care about is yourself.
And after that, you don't feel the same toward the other person any longer.
We must meet again.
Yes, we must meet again.
Winston sat at his usual corner while watching a telescreen. Victory, a sort of electric thrill, ran through the cafe. He could hear just enough to realize it had all happened as he had foreseen. A sudden blow in the enemy's rear. Under the table, Winston's feet made convulsive movements. He had not stirred up from his seat, but in his mind he jumped up and joined them, cheering. But it was all in his head.
Big brother is watching. Big brother is watching.